Hey everyone, this is Tom Peters from OPAL with a preview of the free online events that are being planned for March of 2009. Today is Friday, February 27th, 2009. On Sunday, March 1st, beginning at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, we're going to hear from Dr. Rand Jarris about golf's golden age, the legendary players of the 1910s and 1920s. This is part of the Henry Flagler Museum's Whitehall series. This is the final of the 2009 series. So it's been a great series and we encourage you to participate. If you need to get a time zone for your particular area of the world, please go to worldtimezone.com. On Thursday, March 5th, beginning at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, we're going to have another in the series of ALA Connection Salons. In March, we'll be talking about the next generation library catalogs, and our special guest will be Marshall Breeding. On Friday, March 6th, beginning at noon Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, we're going to have a special guest, Laureen Phillips, who's the head of Information Literacy Services at McDermott Library at the University of Texas at Dallas. And she's recently written a book about marketing for libraries called Cruise for Success: How to Steer Your Way Through the Murky Waters of Marketing Your Library. So Laureen will be with us to talk about her book and the important topic of marketing your library. On Thursday, March 12th, beginning at 2 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, we're going to have a session on OPAL tips for online room managers. So if you ever have managed an OPAL online room, this is a session for you. We're going to talk about things like how to customize your start page, how to invite participants, how to obtain usage stats and feedback, and more things along those lines. On Friday, March 13th, beginning at 2 Eastern, 6 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, we're going to have a presentation by Helena Zinkum and Barbara Orbach-Nadeson from the Library of Congress about opening their photo vaults. It's a collaborative project launched in January of 2008 involving the Library of Congress and an area of Flickr called the Commons, which is a designated area of Flickr where cultural heritage institutions can share photographs that have been no known copyright restrictions to increase the awareness of these collections. On Monday, March 16th, Melora Norman she's the library director at Unity College in Maine and a PhD student in the history department at the University of Maine, will be talking about a brief history of environmentalism. That's Monday, March 16th, in 2 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. On Thursday, March 19th, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and 10 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, we're going to have a session by the Association for Library Services to Children, how I got my first library job, tips from library directors. So in today's tough job market, we'll be hearing from Gene Nelson, who's the Provo, Utah City Library Director, and Therese Bigelow, who's the Chesapeake, Virginia Public Library Assistant Director, on their experiences with finding that crucial first library job. Then on Friday, March 27th, beginning at 2 Eastern Time and 6 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, we're going to have the final in this opening series of the Digital Archive Search and Discovery, sponsored by the Illinois Library Association. The topic for March 27th will be the Early Illinois History to YouTube project. We'll hear from Lori Bell from the Elias Library System and John Walber from Learning Times and other members of the project team. They're doing some really fascinating things with pod maps. So they're going to put podcasts onto a map that you can do all kinds of neat things with. So again, that's going to be on Friday, March 27th, 2 Eastern, 6 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Other programs are being planned for March and for future months, so stop back often to the OPAL website. It's www.opal-online.org. Thanks much.